From the McCormick Gymnasium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner, Kate Busick, as we get set for North Dakota High School boys basketball action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. Well, folks, the Deacons come into tonight in desperate need of a win. They're riding a 5-game losing streak, but they have a prime opportunity here to snap it at home against Red River. Shanley coming into tonight 9th in the EDC standings. Red River coming in at 7th. This will be a crucial game for them to try and improve their standing with tournament time quickly approaching. Folks, for now, we are going to have to send things down to the PA announcer, but don't go anywhere. We got a great night of basketball action coming up in just a few minutes.
Cooperating in these matters. Also, the concession stand and restrooms are located south of the gymnasium in the commons area of the school. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove all headwear, as Father Charles LaCroix will lead us in prayer.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Father, through the life, death, and resurrection of your Son, Jesus, you have made us all your adopted sons and daughters, confident to call you Father, and we thank you, Father, for gathering us together here tonight for this event. As always, we ask you to be with us throughout the entire evening, watch over us, bless us, keep the players free from injury and harm, allow them to play to the best of their ability, reward them for their efforts. Let everything that we do here give you great honor, and when the evening is complete, help us to arrive at our homeward destinations in safety. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit, your God, forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be performed by Cassie Simon, a senior cheerleader at Shanley High School.
Don't go anywhere. High school basketball action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Butler Machinery, Ed's Marine, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Hurley's Religious Goods, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Network Center, Northern Improvement, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford, Shields, Taxman, TCI Insurance, and Wolf Steel Construction.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School boys basketball action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by Kate Busick as we're getting ready for tip-off here between the Shanley Deacons and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. And Kate, you know, we talked about it a bit. before the break. This is a pretty big game standings-wise. Shanley, of course, in 9th towards the bottom of the EDC standings. Red River a couple places ahead, but looking to improve their standing. You know, we know the implications from a team perspective, but looking a little closer, who do you see as being some of the key individual performers for both teams?
Well, as I look at the roster tonight, one of the big things I recognize, the easily tallest player out here is going to be Daniel Warner, and if you're Red River, you have to be able to stop him. You can't let him beat you on boards and get those extra possessions. That's something I really want to watch. Then I'm going to screw this name up, but William Boyle?
Yes, that would be William Obioha.
Obioha, I'm sorry. He's really tall, he's really long, really athletic. That's something I want to watch from Red River.
Absolutely, Cade. And, you know, can you speak at all to the importance of Talon Hoffer? We've seen him be really good in some games. He's been the key to a lot of wins, but in the games where he's been cold, it's usually resulted in a Shanley loss. How important is he to Shanley in terms of getting that win here tonight?
You know, he's also another very important player. He's got to come out and show what he can do. This team really, in a lot of ways, runs through him. He takes the ball up a lot for this team, and he just kind of gives this team a little different swagger for when he's making his shots.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there, Kate. I think there's a big mental aspect for Shanley in terms of how Hopper performs. You know, when he plays well, I think the rest of the team plays a lot better. I think we've seen them at times be a little shaken when he's not on his game. Wouldn't you agree?
I'd agree with that. And the other thing along with how it helps the team, teams are able to recognize how he's performing, and I'll say defend him a little bit differently, and in turn everybody else on the floor. So that helps his team when he's on in general.
I couldn't agree with you more there, Cade. I mean, we've talked enough here. I think we're about ready for tip-off, though, see what these two teams bring to the table. And you can see down there, these two teams pretty even height-wise. Like Cade said, though, there is one outlier. That will be Daniel Warner coming in at 6'8". Red River will have to handle that height, and like you said, William Obioha coming in at 6'5". He's just a sophomore, but he's going to be tasked with that matchup at least to start. So with that, we are underway as Obioha is going to win the tip forward to Cole Benson, and that'll start things off as now Dvorak possesses the ball just past the half-court line. Barr's working on him as he gives that one over to Feller. That ball tipped and snagged by Obioha at the top of the key, who will go over to Dvorak on the wing. Dvorak now hands that ball to Anderson. Anderson across to Obioha on the near side, driving along the baseline. He threw that one over to Feller. Feller, though, was not expecting it, dropped it, and it fell out of bounds. So that's a stop for the Deacons here to start things off.
For the Deacons after that, you have to feel real good right now. But now you got to come out and play offense here.
Yeah, that has been an area where they've struggled. They're a fairly strong defensive team, but sometimes they do have issues getting points up on the scoreboard. Isaac Clavin now at the top of the key. Senior forward will give over to Owen Mears on the wing. Mears out to Hoffer, one of the names we mentioned. He goes over to Clava. Clava looking for the early three. It does not fall. And Isaac Clava, he's been a little streaky for the Deacons, but he is a three-point sharp shooter. That's what he'll be tasked with doing, kind of spreading the floor out with that three ball. Obioha at the top of the key. Low pass inside to Dvorak, looking to go back to Obioha. Miscommunication, and Dvorak gets back on top of it. Almost lost his handle. Goes back to Obioha, driving inside, and he's called for the travel, and it's another turnover for the Riders.
That's a really frustrating play if you're the Riders. One thing you got to love if you're Shanley right now, they are getting their hand on the basketball and they are tipping it. They've had about 4 tips. They haven't been able to get the ball yet from those, but those are something you really got to be happy about if you're Shanley. Those will go your way at some point.
Certainly, Cade, they're really seeing the passing lanes out there, and like you said, they're getting their arms in there to break it up. Although that's not what you want to see, as the pass from Bars, I'm not sure if he just kind of lost control that one or if someone knocked it out of his hands, but that was way too high that time for Mears. So Anderson will inbound now to Dvorak, and Bars will play tight defense on him all the way across half court. Anderson to Obioha. Obioha goes into the corner to Benson, and then that ball's tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Deacons.
But again, they're still getting their hands on the balls. They will eventually get turnovers off of this, which is something that they will need tonight.
Inbound is to Obioha. Inside, and now back out to Dvorak, looking for three. No good. Daniel Warner had the rebound momentarily, but it was jarred out. Dvorak in the paint, working against a host of Deacons. Couldn't get it to go, but he was fouled.
I think they're going to get Daniel Warner. It looked clean, but he did bring his hand over. They will get you a lot on that, especially if you're getting it from behind.
So will not be a shooting foul, fortunately for the Deacons. And now here's Obioha on the near side. Hands off to Dvorak. Those two have been working the ball between them quite a bit. Anderson back to Dvorak. Fakes to Benson. Now in the corner. Hoffer locks down. He goes out to Anderson for three, and it falls. Finally, someone breaks through on the scoreboard, and it's a three-pointer for Red River to start things off.
One thing Red River has done defensively, they have face-guarded Talon Hoffer, basically saying, we're going to do everything we can to not let you get the ball.
Mears looking inside to Kleva. Instead he'll opt for Warner. Double team on Warner, and he can't get the bank shot to go. Quick pass to Obioha. Warner gets the hand up there for the block, and Mears saves it with an excellent effort play. Fantastic defensive series for Shanley, but then Kleva airmails the pass. And that's a tough break for the Deacons there. Kleva maybe just a little overexcited, a lot of energy on the court. And that one, it was a hard pass and a little high. I think it looked a little more off target than it actually was, but still a tough break there for Shanley.
For sure. Now you got to really calm down and just play defense here right now and get the ball back.
For Red River, however, it is a fortunate recovery. Dvorak showing off some moves there. And now we got a whistle, and it looks like a foul called on Mears.
Falls on number 20, Owen Mears. First personal, second team foul. Sideline out of bounds.
As 2 team fouls now for Shanley. So far, none for Red River. As Brady Dvorak will collect in his own zone. And now come across half court as he goes over to Feller. Feller to Enerson. And in the corner, it's Benson looking inside. Nothing there. He goes to Dvorak. Dvorak got the screen, goes to Obioha, pulls up. And that one does not fall. But a foul is called, and he'll head to the line.
They're going to get Kleva here on his first. I thought that was going to be on Warner, so that's really good for the Deacons that Warner doesn't have his second already. But Shanley can't keep fouling, or they're going to get in, just put these guys on the line and be in foul trouble themselves, which is going to cause them a lot of problems.
Yeah, it is pretty early here to be at 3 fouls if you're Shanley, as Obioha hits the first free throw. Try number 2 is good off the back of the rim. It took a bounce and then went in. So here's Braden Bars, the senior guard, coming across with the ball. He's one of only 2 guys you could really classify as returning starters from last year's team, him and Talon Hoffer. Pretty much everybody else starting and in the rotation is brand new or close to it for Shanley this season, as now we have a whistle and a foul going against Red River.
Yeah, that's one thing that Shanley, they've had to work together and kind of start to mesh, because you got a really kind of a big group. You got some sophomores that'll be playing for Shanley up to some seniors.
Certainly, like you said, a wide collection of ages as that ball is out of bounds. They will say last touch by the Deacons, so there's another turnover for Shanley. They still have not broken through on the scoreboard. Red River has not had a ton of success either. However, they are up 5-0 at the moment, and Braden Bars with some tenacious defense. He will get caught reaching in, though. And that was close, but I think Shanley is getting the feel now that this is going to be a pretty tightly called game. I wouldn't say, you know, all the calls have been good. It's just there's a certain line there you have to feel out from the referees, and it looks like they're going to keep it pretty tight, so Shanley will have to make sure they're not stepping over.
They're going to get a moving screen here, I believe, on Red River.
Yeah, it looked like it from here, so an offensive foul is a nice break for the Deacons. And that'll be Dvorak who they pick up for it. So Hoffer inbounds to Mears, who comes across half court now. Owen Mears looking in. He goes to the top of the key to Isaac Kleva. Kleva driving through the paint, lost it. Deacons want to call, they don't get it. Excellent hustle that time to get back to it by Owen Mears. And they'll get the Riders for the foul. Red River crowd not loving that one.
Yeah, bodies just kind of went flying everywhere on that one, and I don't want to say that he just pointed and said, you get the foul, but I mean, that one, it could have gone either way.
I know what you're saying, Kate. That's a pretty 50-50 call there, and that one, unfortunately for the Riders, does not go their way. So that makes it 4-3 in the foul department now. Braden Bars at the top of the key, trying to get the screen from Kleva. Instead, he has it stolen by Klefstad. Klefstad coming down court. He has it taken away. And they'll call a jump ball. So nice defensive work there by Isaac Kleva.
Yeah, they call a jump ball there. That one, I fully expected the foul to be coming. That's what it looked like. But really good break, and now the Deacons are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, that one, Cade, like you said, there was, I think a lot of people at first thought it was going to be the foul. Instead, they go with the jump ball. It's another one of those close calls. Certainly can go either way. Hoffer cuts inside. Ryder's not giving him a lot of space, so he checks off over to Bars to Cava. Cava inside, almost has that one scooped out by Benson. Good awareness to get rid of it. Here's Hoffer for 3 off the front of the rim. It won't fall. Obioha there to get the rebound as it's still just 5-0. He goes to Klefstad looking to make it 7-0. Shot does not fall, but he'll head to the line.
They're going to get Clava here, I believe. That's going to be his second already, and the 5th on the Deacons. Only less than 5 minutes into the game already. And this is something that Shanley, I don't know if it's you have to take a chill pill or something, but you got to do something to just you can't be fouling like this at this rate.
Yeah, Cade, I think it might be one of those situations where you get 1 or 2 early and you're actively trying to stop fouling, but you just kind of can't stop that ball from rolling, It just kind of fall into that pattern. So not sure if Shanley needs a stoppage here or something to kind of reset, but we'll see.
Another thing that we're seeing, though, Red River is getting the ball inside the paint really well. Shanley is struggling to do that right now.
Yeah, these teams are pretty even height-wise, but it seems like Red River being maybe a little more physical inside, keeping Shanley out, like you said, Kate, as now Klefstad gets the steal. Klefstad coming down court, going to keep it himself, looking for 2. Too strong. Rebound putback is good, plus the foul from Bryce Enerson.
That's Barr's second now already, and so that's going to be 2 players probably heading to the bench with foul trouble. Less than 5 minutes into this game.
Yeah, this is not a great start for Shanley. They are only down 8-0. You don't want to be down 8 points at this stage, but it feels like it could be more at this point. So that is something. Although Enerson gets the free throw to make it 9-0. And now if you're Shanley, you really got to score soon here. You're getting to the point 5 minutes in, and having no points is never how you want to start a game. And that's not how you score points, though, is it?
I believe that was a block on Red River, so that's good if you're Shanley. Never mind.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought the indication was, but the Red River bench was celebrating, so.
I guess they called a moving screen. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one either, Cade. But like I said, that's not how you score points if you're Red River. That is, though, as that was a nice basket right off the bat on that possession. And now down 11-0, Shanley takes a timeout. A wise decision, in my opinion, Cade.
Yeah, they definitely needed to take this timeout. Coach Burns has to be talking about, all right, guys, we can't do any worse now. So everybody just take a breath, and we've been practicing this all year. We're going to be all right now. Now we got to go on our run. They've gone on theirs. The other thing that I'm sure that he is letting them know very nicely, of course, don't foul. As Red River's in the bonus for the remainder of the half already.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Cade. That's really something to point out. Being in the bonus with 13 minutes to go is not good. And, yeah, like you said, Coach Burns putting it as gently as possible. Do not foul at this point. Although, if they do get to the double bonus at that point, not much more to lose, although you'll be giving them 2 free throws every time. So, yeah, like you said, it really can't be fouling anymore here as Bars drives in, kicks it out to DeKaiser. Shanley looking to reset after that timeout. Mears with the floater. Doesn't fall for him, and the Riders go back to work. Cole Benson coming across now. Taking his time, he's going to slice in now, kicks it over to Klefstad, and it looks like Benson was fouled driving in.
They're going to get Cava. That's his second now. That's 3 guys already with 2 fouls. Those Bars checked back in with 2. But, I mean, if you're Shanley, I don't know what you can do. You've got to figure something out, though.
Yeah, definitely, Cade. It's always a tough line to try and ride there between playing good defense and fouling, and I just think Shanley's having a lot of trouble finding that distinction at the moment. As DeKaiser will now inbound to Bars with 12:30 left to go here in the first half. It's an 11-0 lead for the Riders.
Shanley needs to get the ball in the paint and get Red River moving in the paint. They'll pick up fouls that way. That's how Red River is getting all these fouls.
Very nice moves there from Talon Hoffer, but cannot get the finish. Joe Cava trying to break through here, and he does. Finally, 2 points for the Deacons, and the Shanley fans can take a seat. They've been waiting for those first points for a long time, but they're finally able to relax a little bit as Feller goes up for 2, and it doesn't fall. Joe Cava there to get the board. Here is DeKaiser now moving down court for Shanley. Maybe feeling some energy here, although that one was stripped. DeKaiser had it poked out from behind, and then the loose ball was scooped up by Enerson. Enerson to Feller on the near side. Feller over to Obioha. Obioha had it poked away. Owen Mears forcing the steal, going up for the easy layup, and he gets it. Excellent recovery here by the Deacons after that timeout. Took a while for them to get going, but now they look like they're feeling it a little bit. Some quick passing results in a turnover for the Riders. Hoffer faked it over to Mears and then scores the fancy basket. Beautiful moves from Hoffer.
You know, I had a coach once tell me, just make it and I won't yell at you.
Well, certainly Coach Burns won't be yelling about that one. Beauty of a shot from Hoffer, and now the travel called on Red River. And now it's the Riders who got to be thinking about a timeout here as they're on their heels just a little bit.
One thing you'll notice about the Shanley bench, they're the most obnoxious bench in the world. When they get fired up, they are loud out, and you can hear them, especially when the Shanley starts playing well like this.
Certainly beneficial for those players on the court, Cade, as Braden Barr's out at the top of the key. He goes over to Braden DeKaiser, now to Hoffer. Hoffer, fresh off of a nice basket in transition. He makes a good move, puts up the three shot that doesn't go. Owen Mears gets the rebound, tried the bounce pass to Cava. Mears did a good job not tipping anyone off to the pass, except Cava wasn't expecting it because of that subtlety, and it results in the turnover. So there's the inbound now to Matthew Trader. Trader goes back to Enerson. Enerson inside to Trader. There was some space. He tried to kick it over to Klefstad, and that resulted in the turnover. Obioha poked it away, but he's called for the foul.
We've talked about Shanley's fouls a lot here tonight. That's already 5, though, on Red River. So it's not like this game isn't being called fairly, but both teams have foul trouble that they got to watch now.
Absolutely, Cade. That's going to be very big for them for the remainder of this game. Here is Hoffer. Drives to his left, going up for two. Did not get it, but was fouled. I think they're going to catch Obioha.
And that's his second now. Red River's going to have to make a decision. Do you want to take him out now?
It looks like they actually got Benson. He and Obioha both went up. I think that was kind of one of those where you can take your pick. But so it is Benson who they call it on.
And Shanley will be in the bonus for the remainder of the half now, too.
And Hoffer's first. It looks like they're just at 6, Cade, so I think they're 1 away from being in the bonus.
Yeah, so next foul, they're in bonus.
Or yeah, I see what you're saying. So loose ball after the miss, and DeKaiser off the backboard makes it a 2-point game.
A new way to get a 3-point play.
Yeah, no kidding. Not how you draw it up, but they'll take it. Enerson now on the far side. Bars put the pressure on. DeKaiser there as well. Another turnover forced by Shanley as DeKaiser comes down court. Klefstad poked it away, but he was called for the foul. And like you said, Cade, in the bonus now are the Deacons.
I mean, this game is completely flipped from how it was. I mean, now Shanley has a chance to match Red River's 11-0 run with their own, as there's going to be a timeout here by Red River. And now these conversations that we were talking about earlier, they flipped.
Absolutely, Cade. Red River really on their heels. Like you said, it's a 9-0 run for Shanley, trying to make it 11-0 with these free throws. And, yeah, I mean, the roles have been completely reversed. Red River started off, they came out really defensively strong. Shanley was struggling with the fouls, and now it's Shanley generating all the turnovers. And Red River, who's struggling with the fouls, they're actually at 7, while Shanley's at 8. So, very close in that department as well. Just very bizarre the way this has turned around.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking at this one at 11-0, and it was like, how bad is it going to be? I mean, it was looking rough for the Deacons. They pulled it together. Everybody took a breath, and now the Roughriders are on their heels.
So here is DeKaiser at the line trying to tie things up, shooting 1-1. The first one doesn't fall, so he won't get the second. Klefstad gives over to Dvorak. And now Dvorak looks like he wants to slow this game down a bit after the timeout. Benson going back to Dvorak out top. He kicks it inside to Enerson, to Obioha, back to Dvorak, and then to Benson. Wanted the three, instead he'll have to kick it into Enerson. Enerson goes down, and they call the jump ball. So Shanley avoids another foul. However, the ball will stay with Red River.
One thing here, Shanley has transitioned to a zone now, and that's kind of a little bit of the reason that they were slowing down as well.
Quick passing for the Riders on the inbound. Klefstad couldn't get the shot to fall. Obioha picks it up as Hoffer puts on some tight defense. Mears there as well. And now Enerson works it along the baseline. Floated one up there. Did not connect. And that ball's picked up off the ground by DeKaiser. Excellent defensive work, though, by Klefstad. Great hustle to knock it out and keep it in bounds. Here's Enerson for two. No good. But the foul will be called, and he'll go to the line.
That's going to be Cava's third already, as I think he'll be taking a seat here. And, I mean, we've talked about it all game. It's tough for Shanley, but, I mean, you can't foul.
And it does look like maybe the referees have loosened up on both teams as well.
And he just got a technical. That's his fourth now.
Yeah. You know, Kate, I did not see what happened there. If he was he arguing the call? I got to be honest, I missed that. I'm not sure what led to the technical there.
I was watching him. I think he was just talking to the ref is what it looked like to me. I could be completely wrong on this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we just don't know what was said down there.
Yeah, I don't know, but that now Joe goes. He's got 4 now.
Yeah, that's really tough for him.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, that's just something Shanley's going to have to work with, you know. Whether or not it was deserved, we really don't know. And that's usually the case with technicals. It's usually about something that happened on the court you can't really tell because most of the time it's verbal, like I believe this was. So nonetheless, it's a good opportunity for Red River to try and seize this momentum and kind of recapture that form they had to start the game.
But Joe Cava will probably sit for the remainder, or not the remainder, but a large portion of the remainder of the game because he's got 4 fouls. I mean, you really can't put him back in right now. I mean,
absolutely, Cade, and it goes back to what you were talking about Shanley struggling to generate space in the paint and drive in there. You know, Joe Cava, one of their strongest players, a center forward who generates a lot of that space. You know, using that big frame of his. With his availability quite limited now, it's going to be difficult to open things up.
The other thing, Shanley may only play 6 or 7 more guys now for a long time with Joe out. They really only played 8 or 9, and Andy Clark still hasn't come in. Don't know if we will see him. He's kind of that 8th, 9th guy that you might see. I mean, we'll see Clava, who's not on the floor right now, but started the game, obviously. But they're just going to kind of be thin for most of the rest of the game.
Yeah, that'll be something to watch as well. See if that fatigue sets in. As now, just as you talked about it, Andy Clark is going to come in here. Enerson at the line, meanwhile, converting on that first one as Shanley picked up another foul, putting Red River in the double bonus. And there is the putback and a foul. Boy, Cade, the pendulum has swung once again as now Red River is up 17-9.
I mean, now Red River has gone on their own 6 or 7-0 run. I mean, ever since we kind of said DeKaiser with those free throws, it's been all Red River, and I don't know what to say for Shanley. I mean,
yeah, no, it's just how this game has been. Pretty big swings in momentum. Not very even for. They've never been very even at the same time. You know, it's been pretty dramatic changes. So
yeah, it's one team's doing everything wrong all at once after the banked free throw goes in, but they'll still count it.
And so 18-9 is our score as Braden Bars comes across half court. Bars goes over to Clark. Clark back to Bars. Had to settle that one down. Andy Clark pivoting around with Dvorak on him. He goes over to Bars, who lost it. Warner had to pick it up. Had it poked out by Obioha. And they will get the sophomore forward with a foul.
I think that's his second, as we were saying. Warner's going to go to the line to shoot 1-and-1 now.
Substitution checking in, number 22, Kamani Steckler.
And now Steckler will check in, standing at 6'6". Looks like he will assume Obioha's role of being matched up with Daniel Warner. And the shot from Warner, no good on the free throw, so won't get the second try. As now Dvorak comes across, he's matched up with Andy Clark. Jackson Feller on the near side, going back to Dvorak. Dvorak looks inside, not a lot there. Wanted Enerson, but the Kaiser had him locked down, so he's back to Feller on the near wing, and then over to Enerson, who's got to go right back to Klefstad. Klefstad now to Enerson. Clark on him, cuts inside, loads up for two, and gets it. Makes it 20-9.
He got over the 6'8" Daniel Warner there.
Here's Bars now looking for a nifty two that doesn't go, but the Kaiser gets the putback.
We'll call that a pass.
Sure, maybe not on the stat sheet, but I'm sure that's what Braden Bars will say it was.
Oh, yeah.
So Feller scoops that one out, almost taken away by Tallenhofer as Dvorak loads up for three and doesn't get it. Daniel Warner wins the battle for that rebound. Tallenhofer coming across half court now. He goes in the corner to Bars. Bars looks one way, then goes the other with the three-point shot. And Braden Bars, he doesn't do it very often, but he pulls up there and gets the three to make it a 6-point game. Enerson out top, going inside. That one through the hands of Steckler. Hoffer couldn't pick it up, though. Klefstad went up, and he gets called for the travel. So that'll turn the ball over to Shanley, and that's a nice defensive stand by the Deacons.
And like we kind of said, it's just swung back now. Shanley's gone on a nifty little 5-0 run. They got the ball back there on a turnover.
7:23 remains in the first as Braden Bars goes over to Clark. Clark out to Hoffer, then to Bars. Bars inside to DeKaiser. Works his way along the baseline. Now to Andy Clark for three. In and out. Rebound grab by DeKaiser. And Klefstad gets caught hacking at the arms there, and that'll send Braden DeKaiser to the line.
Braden DeKaiser is going to be shooting two here. Missed the front end of a one-on-one earlier.
19 foul. Braden DeKaiser.
So both teams for the remaining 7 minutes are going to be in the double bonus now.
And the first free throw falls for Braden DeKaiser. Second attempt for the sophomore is good, and that makes it 20-16 now. Benson on the near wing. He goes out top to Dvorak into Enerson. Enerson with a great feed to Feller, who was too strong on the shot. And then a foul committed by the Riders going after the rebound.
And they're going to say that was not offensive. I was wondering if they'd call an offensive, but now Shanley's going to be shooting 2 and 2. I think that gives Red River now 3 guys with 2 fouls.
Yeah, both teams, it took Red River a little bit longer, but in the end, both teams have found themselves in a lot of trouble foul-wise in this first half. And DeKaiser in and out on the first one. Meanwhile, Braden DeKaiser, Kate, has done a really good job of drawing fouls tonight, as he's been at the free throw line quite a few times and has done some damage there. DeKaiser makes it 1 for 2 on that trip, makes it just a 3-point game. As Enerson going down here to Trader. Trader back to Enerson, back to Trader, then into Dvorak. Dvorak to Feller, out to Enerson, who goes back to Feller. Shanley locking down the paint right now. Not a lot of penetration for Red River. Feller open for 3, and he drains it. Red River's first points of the game was off of a 3-point shot, and there's another 3. They have not gone to it very often, but it was there that time for Jackson Feller. Here's Warner out to the Bars looking for a 3 of his own. No good off the rim. Put back for DeKaiser, won't go. Loose ball picked up by Bars. Goes up. Still can't get it to fall, and Enerson gets the rebound as now Dvorak is off to the races. Working against Hoffer. He drives inside. Goes out to Benson. Now to Feller looking for another 3. Yes, sir! Jackson Feller making it a 9-point game with those 2 quick 3s.
It is just one momentum swing after another. No team has scored, had the other team score, and then they score immediately after yet. It's all been runs so far.
Andy Clark and Tallenhofer volley that one back and forth as now Bars has it on the near side. He goes into DeKaiser. DeKaiser doesn't have much to work with, so he kicks it back out. And now it's right back into Braden DeKaiser looking for 2. And that's a nice shot for DeKaiser, just kind of floating it up there. Dvorak gives over to Enerson. with Clark on him. He goes back to Dvorak. Dvorak straight back to Enerson. Looked inside, not a lot there. Dvorak to Feller. Can he get another one? This time it's no good off the rim. Clark does a good job boxing out and grabs the rebound, but Benson able to take it away. Dvorak scoops it up. He goes in looking for two, and he gets it. It's once again a 9-point game as the Riders lead 28-19. Here's Daniel Warner looking for, I believe that would have been his first points of the evening, but unable to connect that time. Benson on the near wing. Barr's able to poke it away. Benson didn't really know it was gone for a minute there. And now Shanley takes a timeout. Nice use of the timeout there, as instead of going to the jump ball, it will just be Shanley's coming out of the timeout.
So Shanley, if you're here, you feel a lot better than your last timeout, obviously. You're just taking a little bit of a breath. I mean, like we kind of said, a little bit thinner bench right now. Oh, but this team is playing really, I mean, these teams are playing really evenly matched right now. No, I don't, but it's just the separate runs that are happening.
Yeah, Kate, and I think they got to feel a little bit better about the situation they're in. You know, you never want to have these big stretches where you go down. Obviously, trailing by 9 is not ideal, but having weathered that initial storm and kind of seen that this game is just a game of those back-and-forth runs, you got to imagine they feel a little bit better, maybe a little more confident in their ability to go on a run of their own and get right back in this.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel a lot better after that.
So here is Braden Bars out of the timeout. He forced the turnover that gave Shanley possession. Talon Hoffer caught in the double team. And it looks like...
I think they called offensive.
Yeah.
That's Talon's second now, I believe.
That was just really good defense that time, Cade. It was good footwork by Red River to just kind of box him in and force him to, you know, try and push and shove to get space. And that's what leads to the offensive foul. So both teams have displayed some really nice defense at times, as you saw there. And that's a great move by Benson to get the ball over to Dvorak. Unfortunately for him, the three doesn't fall, and it's tipped out of bounds by the Riders. Isaac Kleva gives this one to Braden Bars, who will take it forward now for Shanley. Quick passing, and it's knocked away that time, as flying into the scorer's table was Matthew Trader. Trader knocking the microphone right off the stand. Now Dvorak goes over to Trader. Inside to Benson, back to Trader. And now it's Feller handing off to Dvorak, back out to Trader. Riders cycling this one around. Feller picks it up, goes in, gets it right back, and then has it taken away by Isaac Kleva. Talon Hoffer now going to bring it down court for Shanley. 3:35 remaining in the first half. Hoffer looks one way, then goes the other to Braden Bars, who has that pass intercepted by Benson. Going straight back to Dvorak, who then gives away to Enerson. Good job by the Riders to get some space. Along the baseline, that's some nice passing. Trader set it up initially. The shot doesn't fall, though. And here goes Talon Hoffer off the rebound, pulling up for three in transition. Won't go, but wide open is Isaac Kleva. There were 2 or 3 Deacons with nobody in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, really kind of a lucky just how it's set up, and the Deacons get an easy 2 points out of that.
Riders just didn't have anyone home for that one. And like you said, it's an easy 2, but they get it right back. Nine points once again separating these two squads. Here's DeKaiser. That's kind of his spot. Just a few feet away on the sides, although the shot doesn't fall for him that time. Dvorak driving in hard, kicks it out to Trader. Now Enerson has it, and he goes over to Benson. Benson out top, back to Enerson. Fakes it, now cuts inside, and then the bounce pass, I think, was intended for Dvorak, but winds up in the arms of Talon Hoffer. Hoffer driving down, almost lost it, got back to it. Loose ball picked up by Dvorak. Another turnover for the Deacons. Dvorak looking to capitalize. He gets it, and the foul.
That's going to be Kleva's third, I believe, now. As the foul trouble for both teams, but especially Shanley right now continues.
You look at the replay there. It was a good job by Kleva to get back there, and that's just a tough break for Kleva. He deliberately does not put the arms up, but Dvorak runs into the shoulder of Kleva.
I mean, it's an offensive game, and they're going to give that ball to they're going to give the call to the shooter almost every time.
That's very true, Cade. Whenever there's contact down there, like you said, it's just a very offensive game, and that's who they tend to go with in most cases.
They will leave Clava in with 3 fouls.
And, you know, you talked about not having Joe Cava really as he's at 4. And, you know, they don't really have many other options. Like you said, it's not a super deep bench. So if Clava's at 3, I think they're okay leaving him for the last 2 minutes here and just hope he doesn't pick up another.
If you're the Roughriders, though, you got to be thinking, all right, who do we want to go at? Because they've got 2 players with 2 and 1 with 3. Shanley does in the foul category. Who do you want to go at and try and pick up 1 more before the half?
So Daniel Warner inside, still looking for points here in this one. DeKaiser throws up the 2 off the rebound. It doesn't go, but he is once again headed to the line. And Braden DeKaiser continues to do some nice work inside.
What Red River is doing, they're playing a zone. So one of the hard parts about a zone, it's hard to you're not guarding a person, so you can't find someone to box out. And that's where how DeKaiser is kind of just sneaking in there and grabbing these offensive rebounds.
And in an update here from boys basketball around the state, a game I think everybody in the East and the state is watching. Number 1 Davies, number 3 Cheyenne. It is a 38-35 lead for Davies at half, I believe. And so that's going to be one to watch. Certainly big implications there as Bars makes a nice play, gets it to Hoffer, can't get the shot to go, got his own rebound, and then he gets it to go. That's great drive by Hoffer, not giving up on that one. Feller goes over to Enerson, now to Dvorak, and then inside to Benson. Benson almost lost it, trying to flip it back to Dvorak, barely saved it. Ooh, and then he got tripped up and went down hard there, going out of bounds. Looks like he's up, though.
He's up. He's all right. He's ready to go.
Certainly a good effort there to go after that one, as now he'll take a seat. And Steckler will come in for Red River. Looks to be a little confusion at the scores table in regards to the scoreboard. Not sure if it's a time issue or what, but nonetheless, looks like we're ready to go. So here's Bars over to Clava. And we have an offensive foul going against Shanley. I think they got Hoffer there.
They got Hoffer there. That's his 3rd now. And a free turnover for, free basketball for Red River.
And so the foul trouble, I mean, it's plagued both teams, but Shanley, I think, has gotten the brunt of it. At least they, seems like, have committed a few more than Red River. Certainly they've had it worse on their individual players with Cava at 4 and now 2 guys at 3. It's been discipline for both teams, as you see right there. Enerson can't corral that one. Just kind of the story of the half. Struggles with discipline, a lot of self-inflicted wounds for both squads.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have Shanley a little bit more passing. Red River, they can't hold on to the ball. Has been a problem for them. They just
can't catch it. It's simple as that. I know what you're saying. It's been a problem a couple times. As now Clava sets up in the corner looking for 3. It's off the side of the rim, and Dvorak gets the board. 7-point lead here with 47 seconds left in the first for Red River. Enerson had that one poked away momentarily, able to get it back to Benson. Benson drives in. Clava goes down. Enerson's got it, and he goes out to Feller. Pass inside intended for Trader. Somehow Enerson got it, throws one up for 2. Oh, what a move from Enerson. Beauty of a shot to get the 2 points. And now we've got a
timeout, Red River.
I'm not sure. Or if it...
Not sure if they're just having a little talk or what it is, but...
Yeah, not so sure about that one, but a quick conversation between Coach Crefting and the referee, and we're back to the action.
I've just been really impressed today, especially with the athleticism of Red River. They just look like athletes, not necessarily basketball players, just pure athletes.
Yeah, definitely a very athletic team, Kate, and it's showing on the scoreboard. Pretty good basketball team, up 34-25, as that pass was too high for Mears and went out of bounds. Enerson inbounds now to Dvorak, as Red River can have the last shot if they please. Dvorak goes over to Benson. Shanley trying to make this not the last shot, and that's one way to do it. Probably not the way you want to, though, as Mears is called for the foul, reaching in there.
That's his third now, and that's going to be 2 shots now for Red River. I mean,
and already Jackson Lyer looks like he's going to sub into this game with just 7 seconds left. Looks like Shanley does not want to risk anyone else picking up a foul even with just 7 seconds.
And the bench has gotten longer now for Shanley. I mean, earlier than we may have wanted. I mean, both coaches have to be a little upset with the fouls their teams have, but it's going both ways, so you can't throw a fit about it.
No, that's definitely true, Cade. As the second free throw falls as well. So 36-25 now. Shanley going to get the last shot here with 5 seconds left. Bars over to Clava for the long 3. He was fouled. And you can't do that if you're Red River. That's just a mental error that time. The shot was not particularly close for Clava, although I will say I think the foul probably had a large impact on that as his arm did kind of get whacked there.
That is also going to be 2 for Enerson. But when he did that, the entire Red River bench threw their head back. And the coach and everybody just knew that was a mistake.
Yeah, it's been a really nice half for Enerson so far, aside from just one kind of slip up there. And that just happens, you know, trying to contest a shot, you get a little too much arm. And Clava now 0 for 2 on this trip, trying to get 1 out of it.
I mean, if he misses this one, then the foul honestly looks great for Red River.
That is true, as that one does not connect, and so Red River fortunate to escape unscathed there, as Steckler couldn't get a clean shot off there, full court. So at the end of the first half, it is 36-25 in favor of Red River. And Cade, what a performance here from the visitors in the first half. Very back and forth, but Red River looking to be in control at the moment.
Yep, they are definitely in control. Well, but the one thing I will give Shanley credit for, after that 11-0 run, this game is tied from that point on. So they've battled back, and they've done some things right for sure.
Definitely. Now down 11, they will have to make some adjustments during this halftime for the second half. And before we do go to break here, we'll give you some stats. Braden DeKaiser leading the way for Shanley in points with 11. He's followed by Talon Hoffer at 5, and then Braden Bars at 3. For Red River, it's a lot more spread out with Cole Benson at 9, Brady Dvorak at 8, and Bryce Enerson at 7, and a bunch of guys behind them. So scoring by committee for both teams, really, but Red River really getting everyone involved. And so, like we said, an 11-point game here heading into half. We'll step away for a few minutes, but folks, be sure to stick around. Should be an interesting conclusion to this one, that's for sure. Welcome back to North Dakota High School boys basketball action here on Shanley TV. I'm Jed Thomas, joined by Cade Busick, as we are getting set for the second half of play between the Shanley Deacons and the Grand Forks Red River Roughriders. And folks, before we get back to the action, we would like to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level. And so, just seconds away from starting this second half, Cade, the first half was, well, anything but ordinary, that's for sure. Do you have any expectations here for the second, or do you think we just got to wait and see?
I'm going to go wait and see. A lot that I didn't expect, and yeah, so I'm not going to make a prediction because I'm going to be wrong.
Probably the safe bet there, Cade. So here is Braden Bars to start things off. Shanley does trail by 11 here. Several players in foul trouble for both teams. It is Shanley, though, who mostly has that issue, as Talon Hoffer drives in looking for two, won't get it. Obioha grabs the board. Joe Cava sitting at 4. I believe Talon Hoffer has 3, and I think Isaac Clava is another with 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Owen Mears as well has 3.
Okay. So we know it's a couple different guys who have some foul issues for Shanley, as they've got the ball back already now. Owen Mears setting up on the near side, drives in, does the spinorama shot. Does not fall. Teased for a little while and then didn't go, and now Owen Mears is caught with another foul.
That's going to be his 4th. Update from the girls' game up in Grand Forks. Shanley is leading 29-14 at the half.
And Kate, it sounds like Owen Mears, that was his 3rd. So we must have been off there, if I'm not mistaken. It sounded like the PA said 3. So nonetheless, to have Owen Mears at 3 here is still not a great spot to be in. So it looks like those fouls continuing at least to start this second half. Benson makes a great move to get past Warner, then hands it back to Obioha, who goes back to Benson, who gets the screen. Now here's a feed to Feller, who's wide open, gets the 2, and that makes it a 14-point game. Hoffer goes to Clava along the far side. Clava then over to Warner, back to Clava. Looked for the long 2 there, then cuts inside. I think they'll get the travel, or no, they will get Obioha on the foul.
That's going to be his 3rd, I believe. I believe they had 4 on the screen for Mears, but I'm not quite sure. But
no, yeah, I'm not sure where Mears is at, whether it's 3 or 4, but Obioha at 3 is another number to watch, as Bars loads up for the long 2 that time, and it doesn't go. And now here's Feller in his own zone, taking his time, crossing half court. He hands that one off to Dvorak. Dvorak goes back to Feller, then across to Enerson. Enerson with the bounce pass, found his way over to Benson. Hoffer shadowing Benson, so he gives it off to Dvorak. Dvorak cuts inside, not a lot there, pulls up for the deep 2, will not go. It was great effort to get the rebound by Benson, but the ball hit the upper part of the basket there, and that will be out of bounds.
All the wires and anything above the basket is out of bounds, so that is why that is out of bounds.
Talon Hoffer now will bring it down court for Shanley. They trail by 14, and if anyone can spark a comeback, you would think it would be Hoffer, arguably their most dynamic scorer. Braden DeKaiser's done a lot of damage for him here today. Most of that has been inside, and that's where he goes, driving in and gets the 2. Like I said, he's really been doing some good work inside, and you saw it there.
That gives him 13 for the game. He is the Deacons' leading scorer and is having a very nice game for the Deacons.
A lot of those points have been scored at the line as well. He's done an excellent job drawing fouls. Here's Obioha. The 3-pointer does not go. Clava got the rebound, and they press for a brief time, and then Obioha will let Hoffer come down court. Hoffer pulling up for 3. He gets it. Hoffer swishes the 3-pointer. And boy, that's really what Shanley needed here, Cade. Now down 9 after the basket from DeKaiser and Hoffer. Enerson had the open look for 3. He goes to Benson, who looks for a 3 of his own. Off the rim, no good. Talon Hoffer pulls down the rebound and then gets it over to Braden DeKaiser, who will drive down court. DeKaiser, I'm not sure who that was intended for, Warner or Clava. Nonetheless, it found its way to Clava, who gets 2. Now a 7-point game, still in favor of Red River. But they could use some points here to slow this run. Feller in the corner to Enerson. Enerson with Bars on him. Nice pass to Dvorak, who elevates over Clava and gets the 2.
Shanley really calmed down with Hoffer's 3. That was really big for them, and you just got to be ecstatic after that for them.
Hoffer gets it over to Bars on the far side. He goes into Warner, turns around for 2, and finally Daniel Warner strikes. And this would be a fantastic time for him to get hot for Shanley. Feller over to Benson. Benson barely keeping it out of the clutches of the Deacon defenders that time as Dvorak goes all the way across to Enerson. Contested 3 is good for Bryce Enerson. 10-point game now after that three-pointer. Bars thought about one of his own as Kleva puts one up that doesn't go, and Enerson gets the rebound. Enerson coming down with it. Surveys. Goes to his left, gets a screen from Dvorak, but an offensive foul on Dvorak for that screen will turn the ball over.
That's going to be his 3rd now as the foul trouble for both teams continues.
It does appear to have slowed a great deal, though, at least to start here. We've seen way fewer fouls in this first 4 minutes than we did in the first 4 minutes of the first half. So here's Kleva handing it off to Hoffer. Hoffer looking for another 3. 2 open that time. Hoffer swishes it once again. 7-point game now as Dvorak goes over to Obioha, to Enerson, back to Obioha. He cuts in and gives that one off to Feller. Feller couldn't get it to go, but was fouled.
They're going to pick up, I'm not quite sure.
I think it's Kleva. Oh, no, it's Daniel Warner with that being his 2nd.
He's one of the only ones we can say isn't in foul trouble right now. Not something you expect from the big man like that, but he's had kind of a rough game, but he's really rebounded well, even though he hasn't scored amazing tonight.
Absolutely. So now Feller looking to get one here, and he does, so he'll make that 1 for 2. And now it's an 8-point game as Brayton DeKaiser will take it up court. DeKaiser hands off to Bars, who goes over to Kleva. Kleva to DeKaiser, wants to cut inside. Feller stymies him that time. Bars looks to his right, then he moves in. Nice bounce pass to Warner, who was blocked from behind. And they'll call a foul that will send Warner to the line, shooting 2.
Second personal, 13 foul. Daniel Warner shooting 2.
That's Benson's 2nd.
Warner's going to go to the line. Shanley could really use these. Warner's not the greatest free throw shooter in the world, as it seems like we're going to have a little conference here. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah, neither am I. Looks like they might change who the foul's on.
Believe so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
I'm not. No.
Because it looked like he held up a 1 and a 3, and there is nobody out there with 13 or 31, so not sure what that was. But either way, Daniel Warner does convert, so the big man gets the first free throw to fall. Second free throw, not as good. Rebound pulled down by Enerson, so Warner 1 for 2 on that trip. Still no sign of Joe Cava, who's sitting at 4 fouls. Dvorak over to Klefstad, and now to Benson on the far side. Trying to get back to Enerson, almost lost it, but Enerson's able to pick it up. Now here's Dvorak, swims around one man. The shot teases for a while and then falls to make it 47-38.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That one just hung there forever on that rim.
Talon Hoffer now bouncing around out there. Lost his handle on it, though, and it's out of bounds off the Deacons.
As Joe Cava is getting ready to check back in for Daniel Warner.
So just as I was talking about him, he does make his debut here in the second half. First time out there since picking up the technical and moving to 4 fouls. Benson now will go over to Dvorak, who goes straight back to Benson as Red River works their way out of that press. But now it's right back on as Enerson goes to Benson in the corner. It's Klefstad. Klefstad has 2 men on him. Now to Enerson. That ball tipped. Klefstad pulls it down, moves in, trying to take the shot himself, and he's called for the travel. And Klefstad maybe wanted to get rid of that one instead of just trying to barrel down there.
Yeah, Cava, I think he for a second thought that was going against him. His hands went up in the air a little bit. But nonetheless, it's going to be Deacon ball after the traveling.
And yeah, he's certainly on high alert as he's trying not to pick up that 5th foul. So DeKaiser Spins around, goes back to Clava. Clava now to Bars at the top of the key. Now Talonhofer has it, lost it for a moment as Benson's tight on him. Hofer out top. Back in his way in, pulls up for two, does not go, and the rebound's taken by Benson. Benson to Dvorak, right back to Benson, the give and go. Oh, he gets it to Enerson, who gets the bucket and the foul.
That's just a tough one if you're Shanley. If you're Red River, I mean, that was an amazing play, really good passing, but I think they're going to get to Kaiser. That's only his first, so, I mean, it's not a big deal on that standpoint. But that one just hurts. I think they're going to put together, no, they're only going to get the two, so it's not as bad as I thought.
Still, though, that does make it an 11-point game. So here goes Braden Bars across half court. Looks to his right, nothing there. It goes to Hofer on the left side. Hofer moves in. Awkward shot for two. Fortunate to get the foul called as there was not much going. He kind of tried a one-handed shot, kind of tried to toss that one in, but good job drawing the foul.
That's going to be Benson's third. I mean, but like you were saying, I mean, sometimes you just better be lucky than good and get that call. Oh, I mean, he's going to go to the line, and it's going to be a good possession for the Deacons.
10-point game now, as Talonhofer will try to make it single digits here. And he does, so it's down to 9.
Shanley needs to work now and cut this lead. Ever since that 11-point lead, it's kind of hovered around this range, though, and they need to cut into this lead.
Dvorak in the corner to Feller, back to Dvorak, finds Klefstad, hesitates as he waited for Clava to go up there, and they're going to give him the basket and the foul, as they'll pick up Clava that time.
Clava, I'm not sure if that's his fourth or fifth, but that one hurts, and he knows that he messed that one up. I mean, that's a frustrating one to get that far airborne, and I don't know.
And actually, they're going to get Talonhofer, which is a bit perplexing as Clava kind of fell on top of Klefstad that time.
I think there's going to be a meeting, and I think they're going to change this call.
Yeah, that would be my guess as Clava checks out for Emmett Kenny.
Kenny, a sophomore only, making his first appearance of the night. And yes, I think they're going over to change this foul.
Yeah. And that's Clava's fourth, so now that's 2 men at 4.
3, I believe. Yeah, I mean, this is...
As Klefstad's free throw is good to make it 52-40, a 12-point advantage for the Riders. Now here is Braden Bars, walking it down the court. A lot of movement here for the Deacons, switching guys around. Hofer pulling up for the deep three. Well, not necessarily a deep three, but heavily contested that time, I should say, as he's unable to convert. Feller going inside to Benson, then out to Enerson. Enerson will take it in, electing not to go for the three, and it proves to be a good call as he makes it 54-40 now. Braden Bars marching down, kicks it out to DeKaiser. DeKaiser in for 2. Excellent work there. Braden DeKaiser has been knifing into the paint throughout most of this game, really.
I mean, he's probably having the best game of his career right now. He's getting rebounds all over the place. He's got 15 points. He's had an excellent game for the Deacons.
Some dangerous passing there for the Riders, going very high and very far across the court. As Enerson now has Bars right in his face. Benson barely able to keep that one in bounds. Klefstad will go for 2, and he gets it to fall. Kenny matched up with Klefstad here. Fresh into the game, he'll hand it off to DeKaiser. DeKaiser makes the spin move to try and get some space, but gets tripped up on his own feet and is called for the travel.
Shanley, you can't turn the ball over right now. And, I mean, that last offensive possession for Red River, they got the shot clock down to about 6 seconds and still came out with the layup. That's what you cannot allow if you're Shanley right now. You need the ball.
So here's Dvorak, giving that one to Benson. Benson with 2 men on him, goes to Obioha. And now inside to Dvorak for the 2, that does not fall. And now a whistle and a foul going against Red River. And Obioha now at 4 for Red River.
Looks like they're not going to take him out, though. They're going to just let him play. And if you're Shanley, you got to think about going right at him right now. Maybe you don't, but...
So here's Andy Clark off the foul. Clark goes over to Kenny. Kenny back to Clark along the near side, now out to Hoffer. Emmett Kenny goes back to DeKaiser. DeKaiser trying to cut inside, nothing there. Makes a nice read and goes to Hoffer. Hoffer found space and made him pay.
He's having just a really nice second half, and he's getting to the hoop, and that's what the Deacons need him to do.
And that's really Hoffer's game. You know, he's obviously a pretty good shooter, as we've seen with 2 threes here in the second half, but his bread and butter is really that slashing game, using that athleticism, as you saw there. Benson gets it to Obioha, who throws down. Just got those fingers on the rim. And that's an energy play for the Riders, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're Shanley, you need to suck a little energy out of them, and you need to get the ball in the bucket right now.
Hoffer trying to answer with a 3. Obioha got a piece of it, though, and got the block, and I think they'll get the Deacons for a foul on the rebound as a Rider went down.
I think they got Cava. That'll be his 5th. He'll be done for the night.
Yeah, and they will bring in a Roman Schrema. Going to try to use his height here, as Daniel Warner has been on the bench for a while now as well. They elect to go with Schrema here. Benson now has it on the near side. Tight defense being played on him. He goes to Obioha. Obioha handing off to Traveler. And now inside Obioha for 2. Does not get it.
They call an offensive, and Obioha will foul out.
And yeah, after throwing down a few minutes ago, Obioha picks up his 5th. And so he takes a seat. And that's unfortunate. It looked like he might have just been heating up. So here goes Talon Hoffer with some speed right off of that one. He lost control of it. And now it'll be a turnover for the Deacons, as Hoffer is going to get called there.
That's going to be his 3rd now, I believe.
Yeah, that's number 3 for Talon Hoffer. And another turnover for Shanley as they trail by 14. Dvorak going over to Trader. Trader out top to Enerson, and then straight back to Trader in the corner. Finds Dvorak, cuts inside, throws it out to Enerson. Now along the near side, Benson back to Enerson for 2 off the rim. No good. Put back, several tries. Finally, the 3rd goes for him. That makes it 60-44. Hoffer coming down court with it. After committing the offensive foul on the last possession, he'll go to Kenny in the corner. Here's Clark cutting in. Andy Clark makes a nifty pass out to Hoffer. Hoffer looking for 3. Just no good off the rim. Trader with Clark in his face had to give over to Dvorak. Now Enerson open for 3 off the rim. It won't go. Klefstad got the board. Takes the shot, and he is called for the offensive foul.
And both teams will be in the bonus for the remainder of the game now.
17 ball.
So DeKaiser with the inbound to Hoffer. Benson staying right on top of him. Hoffer gets some space now. The screen from DeKaiser. Cuts inside, bounce pass over to Braden DeKaiser. Again, that's the spot he likes to shoot from. Doesn't get it to go, but he does get the rebound tipped back to him by Schrema. Here's DeKaiser, great adjustment in the air, and he gets the shot to go. Dvorak now coming down the court with 6:45 left in the game. Dvorak and Benson just going back and forth here out top. Playing a game of catch at the top of the key as finally goes into Klefstad to Enerson to Dvorak, pulling up for a very long 2 off the backboard. It won't go, and Talon Hoffer gets the rebound. Hoffer with the pass deep down to Kenny. Kenny, great adjustment, but unable to get the shot to go, and then Schrema is fouled from behind.
Schrema's going to go to the line. He's got to watch out a little bit, kind of smack the ball on the ground, but he's going to go to the line for 2.
Again, a 14-point game here in favor of the visitors. Schrema's first attempt is no good, in and out. Feller will come in meanwhile for Grand Forks. Shrema's second attempt is short this time, maybe a bit of an overcorrection from the last one. And so here is Red River with some dangerous passing. Deacons getting their hands in those lanes. Dvorak back to Benson. Benson looking inside, nothing there. To his right, he's got Feller, doesn't see him, and so he goes inside to Klefstad, who goes right out to Feller. Feller pulling up for three from a tough spot. Bounces around and doesn't go. Shrema gets in there to pull it down. Talon Hoffer working against Benson, putting the press on. And he goes down. No whistle, so it's thrown up to Dvorak in transition, and Dvorak makes a great play. Meanwhile, Shanley's getting ready to swap out 4 guys. They got 4 substitutes lined up at the scorer's table. Kenny looks to his left, then goes right to DeKaiser. DeKaiser going to pull up for 3, they'll say. It doesn't matter, though. It's no good. Dvorak coming down with it. Kicks it back to Klefstad. Klefstad, cut back, goes inside, working against Shrema. No good off the backboard. Not a ton of scoring going on, but a lot of time coming off the clock, as now Hoffer going to get a chance for a 3-point play with the basket and the foul.
Hoffer's going to go to the line to shoot 1, but one thing that's really been a problem for Shanley tonight, they're shooting 47% from the charity stripe.
Yeah, they are having their struggles at the line, that's for sure. And Kate, as I was saying before that play happened, you know, not a ton of scoring going on for Red River on some of these possessions, but they're doing a good job taking a lot of time off the clock, as now there's just 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes left to go here in the game.
Yeah, I mean the clock is obviously Red River's friend right now. Oh, if you can take, say, 20 seconds off the possession and get a good shot off, that's a great possession for you if you're Red River.
Definitely. So here is Dvorak going back to Enerson after Hoffer did complete that 3-point play. Enerson inside to Klefstad. He goes back out to Dvorak, who somehow came away with it, only to then turn it over to Warner. Now here goes Hoffer across half court. Hoffer pulling up for 3, very deep that time, does not go. Isaac Kleva got the rebound, he got the shot up.
They're going to say
a foul before the shot, I think. So the shot won't count for Kleva, and he'll go to the line. He's struggled there today, but this will be an opportunity to turn things around.
Shanley is in the double bonus for the remainder of the game.
First attempt for Kleva is no good. And attempt number 2, in and out. So Klefstad gets the board. Now Dvorak going to bring it down. Dvorak, faked right, went left. Oh, excellent passing into Benson, who gets the basket. Talon Hoffer on that right side. Looking for some points here quick. Beauty of a pass to Daniel Warner. Couldn't hang on to it, though. Looked like it was tipped by a Rough Rider, and that appears to be the case, as it will stay Shanley ball. Feed into Mears, wide open for the 3, but it's no good, too strong, and so Benson gets the rebound. Coming down court, Benson has some space, kicks it over to Klefstad, working against Warner. Got tied up there, Warner with some good defense. And now Kleva will hand off to Bars. Over 4 minutes remain in this one, as that ball out of the hands of Kleva and off the foot of a Rough Rider. And it'll be a Shanley ball to inbound. Substitution here as Trader will come in. Klefstad takes a seat. Hoffer inbounding. Trying to find someone. He's having trouble, and he gets caught with the time violation that time, unable to get it in. And that really hurts for Shanley. Every possession counts now, down 15 with 4 minutes left.
I mean, that's tough for Shanley. You got to get a shot up every possession. Even if you don't make it, you got to at least get the ball up to the rim.
It's also really good defense by Red River to shut that down, as Trader goes up and gets 2. And now the Riders will take a timeout, up 17 with 3:49 left. And Cade, Shanley was trying to make it close there. They had some nice plays, especially by Hoffer over a stretch. But, boy, Red River has really come back to take control here. Leading by 17, they burned a lot of clock as well. Now under 4 minutes to go. Shanley's in a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Shanley, you're really struggling. And I don't know what you can do for strategy here. I'd say maybe you start fouling, but I don't know if you got enough guys left to do that. I mean, it's kind of been a tough situation for them. And I mean, not to mention, Red River's shooting the free throws a little bit better than you. That makes it hard as well. But I mean, if you're Shanley, you got to be talking about what kind of shots you got, maybe the play that you've got designed to get those kind of shots as well.
Certainly. I think one area, too, where Shanley doesn't have this year that they've had in previous years is that three ball. We've talked about it a bit. It's really helpful in these situations to be able to get those big chunks of points. Those three-pointers make a big difference, obviously. Talon Hoffer has tried his best to contribute in that department, but not many other players on this Shanley roster have the three balls a big part of their game. That's one area where they certainly missed Jake Cava from last year's team. It was a high-volume three-point shooter. They don't really have anyone too much like that this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. But if you're Shanley right now, you're saying, all right, you either get a three-pointer or a layup. Nothing else makes really sense to shoot.
Really, any points matter, that's for sure, as Hoffer unable to connect on that three-point ball. Now deep in his own zone, it's Benson with DeKaiser putting pressure on. DeKaiser poked it away, but Trader got to it. Tried to make the move underneath the hoop, went off the bottom of the backboard, and somehow Red River's able to keep this thing away from the Deacons. Great job by Red River to just possess the ball here, burning some clock. Now the pass inside to Trader. No opportunity to shoot, and then he has his pocket picked by Braden Bars. Bars able to get it off to Clava with the quick pass intended for Bars. It was tipped by Enerson. Clava hustling back to contest this one. Doesn't want to get the foul, though, so Feller is able to go up and get two. Bars across to Hoffer. Hoffer taking the three, and that one's no good either off the rim. You get the sense Coach Burns may have given Hoffer the go-ahead to just start launching them, down by a pretty big margin here with not a lot of time.
Yeah, I think that could be true. Shanley, whatever you can do, and I mean, if Hoffer, your best three-point shooter, is open, obviously you're telling him to take him down. Oh, now 19.
So here's Feller at the line. And he gets the first one to go, so he'll get a second try here. It's worth noting in this second half, it's Red River who struggled with the fouls. They're over 10 team fouls, while Shanley's sitting at 7. In the first half, they both hit 10, but the roles were a little bit reversed. Shanley definitely having more issues with those fouls. Doesn't look like it's mattering, though, right now, as it is now a 21-point lead for Red River. In the corner, it's Mears. Over to DeKaiser. He goes back to Hoffer, but we got a whistle and a foul going against Red River.
I think Hoffer's going to go to the line shooting 2 right now.
Actually, it looks like DeKaiser drew yet another foul here.
Third personal. Break DeKaiser at the free throw line.
DeKaiser, you'd really like to see him put these in. He's shooting right now 71% for the game from the line. So these would be really nice if he could attack these on.
Able to get the first one to go. DeKaiser has done a lot of damage at the free throw line in this game. Second one is good as well. Here's Dvorak getting it up court to Enerson. Enerson all the way down to Feller, who was open. Feller, though, not going to risk the tough shot, as now Enerson is back in his own territory, able to get it back across. He goes to Benson. Riders very aware of that clock. They're just burning time here as they get the shot off, and the rebound is good for Enerson. 72-51 now, under 2 minutes left. DeKaiser drives along the baseline over to Mears. Mears out top to Hoffer. Hoffer gets the clearance, shoots the 2, they'll say. He had one toe just over. And so now they're really putting the press on as Mears makes the interception. Mears, with good patience, got the shot up. Did not get it to go, but he was fouled.
Yeah, I mean, for Shanley, that's really nice. I mean, this game may be out of reach, but you got to work on the things that you need to be doing, whether it's your press or these I'm not going to say they're high pressure free throws, but these pressured free throws right now are a really nice thing that you're going to enjoy having these practice on, because you can't get these type of things anywhere else.
Absolutely, Kate, and like we've talked about, they've struggled with the free throws, so I think you make a really good point there. Even if this game is too far out of reach, like you said, you get these reps that you don't get anywhere else. Certainly can't replicate it in practice, so that's one positive thing to take away at least.
And you're never going to get it against this type of competition either, this kind of chance.
Certainly, as now Feller will kick this out to Benson. Benson open for three, and he drains it, keeping this thing at more than arm's reach now with that one, a 20-point lead. Isaac Clave at the top of the key. He goes over to Mears. Mears all the way across to Hoffer. Hoffer for a deep three, and he gets it, able to answer Benson.
Hoffer's had a really nice game for the Deacons. He's up to 23 along with DeKaiser with 19.
Dvorak coming down the court. Wheels around. Working against Hoffer. He's able to get that one over to Trader just barely. Trader got the pass to Feller, who wasn't expecting it, and he couldn't get the shot to go. Mears driving in, goes up for two, and I think they'll get Mears for the foul here. That does appear to be the call.
That is his fifth. They called him for the charge, and he will take a seat with 5. No.
I think they might have called a technical there.
I'm not sure what.
Yeah, it looks like a technical called on Mears, I guess.
I'm not sure. He must have said something. I
Again,
don't know.
Yeah, you know, we had the situation with Joe Cavan the first where it didn't look like anything, but again, you don't know what they're saying, so that, you know, obviously had to have been something said that led to that one. Again, it looks like the same situation with Mears. So not at all what you want here is you give them some quick points. Dvorak sinking those free throws. And now it'll be a possession for Red River.
It's going to be a sub here.
Yeah, it looks like they will bring in.
Checking in number 5,
Jamison Noldner. And now Dvorak has it with Bars putting pressure on, trying to generate some space. Beauty of a behind-the-back move, but he put it a little too far out of reach for himself, as now Hoffer gets it up to Bars underneath the basket. Back to Hoffer in the near corner. Fakes left, then looking inside. Klefstad keeping the pressure on him. Gets it to DeKaiser for 3. Off the rim, no good. Kleva off the backboard, though. Gets the 2 points. Wide open down court, it's Klefstad, and he makes the wise decision to just walk back with the ball. Throwing that one over to Trader. Looks like Red River is just going to try to run this one down. 7 seconds left. I think they can just dribble this out.
Which they will do. A really impressive performance by Red River. They didn't get nervous by when Shanley made their run to come and tie this up, and that was just a really nice game.
Yeah, definitely. Big win for Red River. Never really in doubt. You know, Shanley, like you said, answered that initial run, and then Red River able to put things away from there and just keep them at arm's reach for the majority of the game.
The girls' game up in Grand Forks, Shanley was able to win 67 to 37, and then up there.
So a nice win for the Deacons, for the Lady Deacons, that is, as the Shanley Deacons boys basketball team falls here 77 to 60, but we do have some final stats for you here. Talon Hoffer finishing the game with 23, doing everything he could to keep his team in this one. Braden DeKaiser as well chips in with 19, and then the next highest scorer was Isaac Clava with 6. These are unofficial stats, I should say, but this is our count for the evening. Red River, on the other hand, a little bit more by committee. It's Bryce Enerson with 18, Cole Benson with 14. Brady Dvorak actually was after Enerson with 16, and then Jackson Feller with 13. A few guys contributing in the single digits. But yeah, clearly Hoffer and DeKaiser shouldering a heavy load for Shanley. Red River, again, more by committee, but a couple of the standouts there. Shanley drops their 6th in a row here, Cade, and, you know, going forward, I think they're just going to be looking right now to pick up the win, whether that's conference or non-conference play. They just need a victory here, I think, to snap this.
Yeah, I mean, part of it, as a team, morale goes down a little bit. You need to get that over with, and however you do it, I don't care who you beat, how you do it, ugly, pretty, or whatever, getting a win can mean a lot in this situation.
Absolutely, Cade. Just got to snap that streak. As for Red River, they continue to improve, hovering around that 500 mark on the season. It's a big win for them on the road. For tonight, though, for Cade Busick, And for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 60, Grand Forks Red River Roughriders 77. To watch the archive version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.